So I've done a few videos on the Kaypro computer that I grew up programming on many years ago. And I received in the mail today this little device, which is a Wi-Fi modem. It emulates a Hayes modem, operates through the standard serial port. Had to get this little adapter for it. It comes from Italy, a gentleman by the name of Bruno. Thank you for building this for me. I got it through Etsy, and I'll put a link down excuse me, in the description. And yeah, so this emulates a Hayes modem and allows you to connect over Wi-Fi into your home network. So we're going to give this a shot and we'll see how this works. First thing, I think I need to get this set up. This is completely unscripted. I have no idea what I'm doing. I haven't even plugged this sucker in yet, so we'll see. Ooh, I need to get some power for it. It does require some USB power. So I'm going to have to hunt that down, and then we'll get it hooked up and see if we can get the baud rate going for this thing.
So to begin with, I don't actually have any software on my Kaypro to be able to connect to any other machine. I mean, I do. It's something called TERM.ASM, basic terminal program, but nothing really significant there in terms of being able to do any sort of file moving, right? I can talk to something over the serial port. So I needed to get something onto the Kaypro to be able to transfer files. So the first thing I needed to do is get the program, and the program in question was something called c-kermit.com. Basically, it's Kermit for the Kaypro. So managed to get that downloaded and got it onto my Mac. Cool. Now I needed to get it onto the Kaypro. I could write something in assembly language on the Kaypro, and that was, there's no way I was going to relearn assembly language as fast as I needed to make this happen. But I did have access to BASIC. So what I did was I wrote a program in BASIC, something I just called modem.bas, and actually pulled this from another gentleman on the internet, and I'll link over to his webpage or his video that I pulled this from. And I had to heavily modify this to get it to work. And in order for that to work, I had to put some extra statements in, and when it was all said and done, it just wasn't fast enough, right? I had to slow the modem down to like 300 baud to get the file to transfer. But even then, I was still getting garbage when I tried to transfer binary. Like I could transfer a text file, but I couldn't transfer a binary file. I don't know. I probably had some parity bits set incorrectly. So what I ended up doing is actually base 64 encoding this thing, right? Which makes it text. Cool. And I actually called it B64, right? Well, I guess I could just, so I had this file here, right? And I needed this over on the machine. So I managed to get this transferred over using this really hacky modem basic program that I wrote. But then I needed to base 64 decode this, and that did not exist on the Kaypro. So I wrote another really crappy program that I just called B64 and hard-coded the snot out of it. Put that out here, which converted this to a COM file. And once I had that, well, then I had it. I had the software over here to make the connection. And from there, then I can make all the other transfers that I want back and forth between these machines. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to be showing you here. So, first of all
right, so we're over here on the Kaypro, and I'm going to pull up MBasic here. And I'm going to put this listing out in GitHub. Yes, I hacked the snot out of it here. Primarily was having problems with the checksum, but I also had a problem with the initialization of the COM port. And so that's a lot of what these settings are here. Let's see, 5, checking my charts. It's 300 baud. So setting this to 300 baud, I actually have been into this modem already gotten it set up, but I'll show that here. So let me run this. So the device I'm using emulates a Hayes modem, which runs really quickly here at 300 baud. What I learned about serial applications is, generally speaking, they expect your computer to be faster than the serial connection. Well, unfortunately, using BASIC, it's not. And that creates all sorts of problems trying to pull data down. So had to slow the serial port connection way down in order to get it to work. And even at that, it still seems to be somewhat too fast. If I go in here to config, you'll see some of the menus here. I set up the host name connected to my local network here. And yeah, all that. Basically, I followed the instructions. Now what I need to do here is get a telnet session started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do AT, T being telnet, the second one at least, and I'm going to listen on port 23. Okay, so now it's listening for connection.
All right, back here on this computer, you can see I've got the terminal program up. I was reviewing to see how all this worked. The stuff I showed on the basic program was inspired by this section here. Thank goodness for source code. All right, so what we're going to do here is I downloaded this program. Let me pull it up here and show that real quick. lrzsz. Say that really fast. But I installed this using Homebrew on my Mac. And yeah, that gives me access to this program here, which is send via X modem. History grep lsx, and you can see I've made a few attempts here, right, trying to send some demo applications and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it's this base64 encoded program that's of interest. So I'm going to show that real quick, what that looks like. Big old blob of text. All I can do is send text. This program doesn't seem to want to send binary files, and that's fine. Ironically, I do send it as binary so that I don't get any new line translations. But the way this works is it operates over a telnet client, right? So this is the TCP client. This is the client address of the Kaypro. I'm sending it as binary, and there be the file. So I get that set up, and now it's waiting for a command to get started.
So I'm back here. You can see the Kaypro is ringing, just like the old modem days. So I have to answer with an ATA. Now I have a connection. And so now I need to start the receive. With this particular program, it's Control E. That's what's written into the basic code. And I had called it B64. I'm just going to call it BAK for now, because I don't want to overwrite the thing I already got. This thing's going to take forever, and I've already done this. So, but here you can see it's copying 128 bytes at a time. So every time you hear a beep, that's 128 bytes. This thing is about 18K. You do the math. This is the part where I go eat dinner and come back. But we're not going to do that because, by golly, I already have it. So after all of that, I've got this base64 encoded file. Yeehaw. Now I have to decode it. Ironically, there's not a lot of really great information out there on how to actually do a base64 encode. Thankfully, I found this website that gives a breakdown of the formula. And so I wrote one of the worst programs I've ever written. I know there are better ways to go about doing binary to hex conversions and back, but I didn't have time to relearn it. I didn't make time to learn it. So e64.eas. So we list this out. And stop right there. List through 200. Let's just show the first part. So what we're doing here is we're reading the base64 file 4 bytes at a time. Because the way base64 works is you take 3 bytes, encode it into 4 text bytes, and that's how you get the sort of the binary representation into a text-only space. But then I'm going to end up with up to 3 bytes being written out, so I'm writing that to the kker.com. set up the fields, and start spinning through doing the conversion. I'm not even sure I want to show the rest of this code because it's absolutely atrocious. I mean, there's some hardcore string manipulation going on here that could probably be better done through some bit shifting of some kind. But I ran it, and 30 minutes later, I have Kayker. Yay! Which is basically Kermit for the Kaypro. So now that I've got Kermit for the Kaypro here,
I can come back over here with a better microphone, by the way, and I can run Kermit. Again, installed through Homebrew. And now I can send things back and forth. So first I need to get connected in. So let's see here. Telnet 23. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to do. Now it's trying on the other end.
So back over here, I think I have to go into host. Oh, when in doubt, pull up and say connect. And over here, I should see it ring. There we go. We're going to answer the ring. And now the Kermits are connected. I'm going to hit Control/C to get back to the command prompt for Kermit. And I'm going to say receive. All right, we are now waiting for a program.
And now we're back over here. And we're going to, again, Control/C takes us back to the command prompt. And we're going to send, what was it? K1cur.doc. And away it goes. And you can hear the hard drive on the other computer kicking in.
Because by golly, it is downloading. Wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're gonna cancel that and bump the baud rate up. Holy smokes! I forgot I'm still at 300 baud. Let's see here. Can I cancel this? By golly, I can. Maybe I need to hang up over here. Close. Closing connections. Ah, sweet. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. All right, we're gonna change the baud rate. I'm gonna go to 2400. I don't want to be greedy here. Even this program is not fast enough to handle anything faster than this. So we'll change that, which really jacks things up because it's still talking 300 baud. So we're going to get out of here, run this program called baud M, came with the Kaypro, and we're going to change the baud rate to 2400. Go back to what is it called? Kayker. There we go. And connect. Make sure it still works. Yep, there we go. And we got most of the letters. Yeah, that still bugs me. Anyhow, the terminal, the Telnet server should still be running. So I should be able to come back here and do the Telnet and the answer. And then, and we're still connected, so I should be able to say receive.
And let's just hit the up arrow till I get send. Okay, that's moving moderately faster. And by moderately, I mean, 3 times as fast as 300 baud. But there it is. I'm transferring files to the Kaypro. Actually, earlier I went through an exercise in copying a bunch of files off the Kaypro because that's really what this was all about. Pulling off old term papers, old letters to friends and family, and all sorts of different things off this old machine. And eventually I'm going to see if I can get a couple other things. But anyhow, I'm going to link out some of the software that I wrote. Feel free to make a whole lot of fun of it because it's worthy of a whole lot of fun making. And yes, huge thanks to Bruno for the little device he made for me to get this in the back there. And I'll put a link to his Etsy page down there. And yeah, there we go.